Hello, music lovers and conversationalists. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm excited to share with you my reviews on show number 2 of the year, which I attended on Sunday afternoon up at the Rex Theater in Manchester, New Hampshire. It was my first time attending a show at this particular venue, and what a nice venue it was. It was an old movie theater that had gone through a handful of name changes and ownerships over the years. And recently, I think the last time it was purchased and renamed, they brought it back to the original name, which was the Rex Theater when it opened in the 1940s. The show that I went to see was not one band, not two bands, not three bands, but four separate bands, and it is the 13th annual New England Winter Blues Festival. And this is the poster that I picked up. And as you can see, Mike Zito was the headliner. And there were some real heavy hitters in the blues world and literally from around the world. The opening act was a band called the Wicked Lowdown, and its frontman is a man by the name of Mr. Nick, who used to be in Mr. Nick and the Dirty Tricks, and he has been organizing this festival for the past, what should have been 14 years, but there was a certain pandemic that hit, and they had to, obviously, were not able to perform for the during 2020 and probably 2021, but what an amazing show. Mr. Nick, who is now part of the Lowdown, the Wicked Lowdown, was the opening act, and this is their debut album called We Hot. And let me tell you, it is hot. They really warmed up the audience and really started the fire burning strong for the afternoon. And they kicked it off with a few tunes of their own, including some great tunes off of this new album, the title track, which is called We Hot. And the other one that really stood out was Mind Your Mind. And there's always at these shows, and when it's just a one band playing, they like to tip their hats to a lot of the legends that so many tip their hats to. In this case, it was one of my favorites of all time, and that is Howlin' Wolf. They played Smokestack Lightning, and Mr. Nick on his harp really nailed it, and he really channeled Howlin' Wolf's flavor for in the style, and it was just a sensational performance, and one of the best I've seen of this particular song. And after about half an hour to 45 minutes of the Wicked Lowdown playing, they took about a 10-minute break, and then the next gentleman to come up on stage, who I think really stole the show, is one from Italy, and his name is Roberto Morbioli, and he really hit a home run when he was up on stage, and he sounded great, really connected with the audience early on, and right from the get-go, he was rocking and grooving, and the two songs that he really had stand out were one that's a real crowd pleaser, and I've seen him play it before. It's called I Believe, and it's kind of a gospel-y, spiritual feel to it, and he really gets the audience moving into the song, and we act as a chorus for him during the part where he sings I Believe. We join in a response type way. But he, and I like when, and as I said in the Toronto Canon review video, I like when a band, or I should say the guitarist or the lead member of the band, whoever it may be, can come down into the audience and really move around with the crowd and rock out in the crowd and be with the audience as one. And he really stole the show with that when he came out into the crowd and just took his time to again play his heart out and shake hands and high-five people, and it was just a real nice, touching moment for the afternoon. and he was selling his newest CD, which is this one here. And it's a fantastic album. I've already listened to it a couple of times. I really like the artwork here, and these are all new songs written by him, written by Morbioli during the lockdowns and during the pandemic. And what a cool settings on a rising sun right here. I'm going to go on the optimistic side and say it's a rising sun, but what a fantastic performance he did. And if you ever get a chance to see Roberto Morbioli, I strongly recommend doing so. And his new album is Make It Right, which I think is a fitting title, since so many of us have we're just so tired of the pandemic and the lockdowns, and now that we're back into full swing, I think a lot of us are not taking anything for granted, and he's proven this in his music, and he was saying how fortunate he was to be back, and I think he speaks for a lot of people. They're back to doing what they love. The next artist that was a part of the Blues Fest is one that I've seen more times than I can count, and he is one of the best Chicago blues players on the planet, and his name is Nick Moss. He had some CDs available for sale, but I have all of them, and he did say that he is coming out with a new CD, I believe, in late spring. So I didn't get a title from him on what it is, but as soon as I find out, I'll pass the news on. And if you are a big fan of Chicago blues, I don't see how you could not like Nick Moss. He has everything that you're looking for in a guitarist and a songwriter and a singer, and his band is phenomenal. And I was able to get a little piece of the evening music, if you will, in the form of a broken guitar string, a piece of memorabilia, that was the word I'm looking for. And this was from Nick's guitar. He broke one of the strings and kept on playing like none other, and the 5 strings didn't bother him a bit. A couple of the songs that he played, one was a tribute, tip of the hat to my all-time favorite guitarist, and Johnny Copeland, and he played one song which is Blues Ain't Nothing, and it was a phenomenal rendition of it, and he was on fire all night, and he really brought the house down as well. But I still say Morbioli was one who was the MVP of the night. And last but not least, as I said, the headliner for this show was none other than one of my favorite modern day guitarists, and that was Mike Zito. Mike Zito was unstoppable. He was playing on a totally different level. He was fully energized like I've never seen him before, and I was fortunate enough to get a guitar pick from him, and this was one that he used when he was playing on stage, so that one is going into the guitar pick collection. And he has a new album coming out. I believe it is in early March, but you can do a pre-order now on Gulf Coast Records website, and it is with another of my favorite modern day guitarists, Albert Castillo, who I've mentioned before on this channel. And I got in the mail, I believe it was yesterday, their upcoming album that they worked with Joe Bonamassa on, and it is called Blood Brothers. And this is, if anyone of you know how tight Mike and Albert are, they're like best of friends, and this title really just sums up the relationship they have. This is 11 songs of loud, pure rock and roll blues rock, and I'm just really gonna go out and say right now that I think that this is the album of the year when it comes to blues and blues rock. This song is locked and loaded. It's ready to go. It's just an excellent ride. It's a thrill ride, if you will. And there's some great tracks on here. And I'll do a more in depth of the CD. I've only listened to it a couple of times, but I wanted to show it to you guys today. This is the album to get for 2023, I think. And I know it's early in the year, but I'm going to go out and say, on a limb and say this is the album to beat in terms of the singing, the songwriting, and the overall production of it. The 13th annual Winter Blues Festival, in my opinion, overall was a huge success. It was a sellout crowd. The staff at the Rex Theater was phenomenal, and the audience really got into it. And the band sounded really tight. And at the end of the show, all the stars came out, from Roberto Morbioli to Nick Moss and Mike Zito, and of course the MC of the Blues Fest, if you will, Mr. Nick himself. And they played a couple of encores. One was a tribute to Luther Guitar Jr. Johnson, who sadly passed this past Christmas in December of 2022. He was a legend, and especially had a huge following in the New England area, but around the blues world in general. He was an excellent musician. I got to see him a couple of times, and one story that I'll leave you with is I remember going to see him at the Bull Run restaurant in Shelley, Massachusetts, and I got there about an hour and 15 minutes ahead of time before the doors opened, and I was standing in the hallway to the entrance of the stage with about a half dozen to 10 or so people, I think it was, and he was doing sound check. And then about an hour before he was to go on stage, he invited us in for the remainder of his sound check, and it was like getting two shows for the price of one. He was on fire. He was really in the groove, and just took the time to say hi to the fans and welcome everybody to the show ahead of time. And I'll never forget that moment. And he'll be sadly missed by millions of blues fans around the world. So it was nice to see them do a tribute to Luther Guitar Jr. Johnson. Well, and really tip their hat to him. That's my review for the second show of the year. I'll have more reviews, probably not until March, so stay tuned. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you later, and have a good rest of the week. Take care. Bye-bye.